Jim Martin here at the Charleston Conservancy again. We're talking about putting plants in the ground. It's spring and everybody's excited about making things beautiful in their garden. So how do you start? Well, we've added our compost already and now we're ready to go ahead and look at putting the plants in the ground. One of the things that we have to do before we actually put it in the ground is to look at our root system. So we're going to pull this plant out of its pot and we're going to take a look at what we have. You notice here that the roots are quite dense, and so we're going to need to loosen these up a bit before we go ahead and put this in the ground. To do that, you can use one of your nifty garden tools. This happens to be one of my favorite. It's called the Cobra tool. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically lightly, as I call it, massage the root ball. And all we're doing is breaking it up enough so that once we put it in the ground, it will not continue growing as if it was in a pot. I don't know if you had the opportunity to pull a dead plant out of the ground and you see the roots are all still growing in a circle. It's because the person didn't loosen these roots up enough so that the plant would grow like it would normally, which is move horizontally in the soil, than to continue growing in a circle. So we've gone ahead and broken this up enough. At this stage, it's ready to put in the ground. We're going to want to put this plant in so that it's about an inch higher than the level that the plant is growing presently. So we're going to dig our hole. And one of the things that I try to remind people is that when you're preparing a new bed, dig a hole that's 2 to 3 times wider than the plant that you're putting in and add compost there. We're ready to put in our plant. Also, one important thing to do, which I've sort of done, is go ahead and water the plant before you put it in. That way it's ready to go, even though you're going to water it after it's planted. If you can remember to do that, it's also very useful and will keep the plant happy at the same time. So we're getting ready to put this plant in the ground. We're going to check its height. One of the biggest problems in the South is the heavy rainfalls that we have, and plants that are planted too deeply will almost always rot. So we want to go ahead and get that plant an inch higher than what it was growing in the pot. So we're ready to go ahead and put the soil around. As you can see, we're just placing it around the plant. Notice it is a little bit higher than how it was planted, so those roots show a little bit.